Welcome to Leader Be Led, where we talk about politics, common sense way of looking at things, which makes life so much easier. I didn't really want to talk about ICE today, but it seems like there's always one thing after the other in Minnesota. I'm a history buff, and there's some things I can look back in history and say, well, the United States had some defining moments. Two of them, Civil War and the Revolutionary War. So, we had the Battle of Bunker Hill, which started the Revolutionary War, and then we had the firing on Fort Sumter to start the Civil War. And to me, in Minnesota right now, it's a defining moment in United States history. People, this isn't about ICE. We have a certain group of individuals and organizations wants to change America more of a communist type regime. They try to say socialist, but no, they want communists. I mean, you hear them say it. They don't believe in personal property. In other words, somebody like me, they'll come in and take the farm, and then they'll tell you, this is what we want you to grow on it, and we'll let you live on it, but you're going to have to pay us rent and do our bidding, even though at one time it was your property. And that's what they're after. And you say, what evidence of that do you have? Mondani. That's evidence we have. They're already talking about it, where people shouldn't have personal property, and they're trying to figure out ways to take it, and let the bricks fall where they may. You people are voting for these idiots because they promise you a better life, but that's what Stalin did. That's what Karl Marx did. Hitler. You can go through history and find examples of the same thing. And it's all about control. And they promise you the world, but while they benefit from it, and the average person, we don't. It sounds good. They call themselves, through history, the Labor Party and this and that. But it doesn't have nothing to do about labor. Well, I guess it does, because at the end of the day, they want free labor. Even though they say they're not, they're for the working man. No, they're not. They're out for themselves. And people need to wake up. And right now, unfortunately, we got a generation of spoiled individuals that's been brainwashed through school, both regular grade school and high school, and now colleges. I mean, these people are getting told, you try to run over an ICE person and it's fine. Nothing will happen to you. Well, we know how that outcome. Or the latest instance, which I saw the slow motion version of it, that SOB, he shot first with a 9mm because I know my guns and I know how they function, and I could see the gun firing. Which in turn, ICE did what they should do. They protected themselves, rightly so. Of course, you hear the mainstream narrative and all, they don't want you to know that. He's just poor little nurse walking down the street one day. He pulled a gun. He had 2 clips on, what we know of. And I carry once in a while, and I'm going to tell you, whatever my gun holds, that's what I carry. I don't carry extra clips. And plus, looking at the gun, looked like he had some type of laser sight on the back of it. So, as far as I'm concerned, this gun was not for self-protection. He went there to do evil, and he got stopped. And that, but he's been brainwashed. He can do that, and nothing's going to happen to him. Well, he found out otherwise. So, and when I got to admit, when I first saw the video, everybody was so jumbled, I couldn't tell what was going on, but this is the first time I've said anything about it, because I wanted the facts to come out and see more. And then, as I say in every podcast, be informed, idiots. I hate saying that word, but it's getting to that point. And not be informed by some Democratic group or Republican group for that matter. Keep digging. Wait before you judge. And one thing horse training taught me that is through the years, you'll get a problem horse, and every time they can say, oh, somebody mistreated that horse. But I don't look at it that way. I wait. I work with the horse. I see his mannerisms. And 9 times out of 10, no, the horse hasn't been beat on. He's been spoiled to death. Which brings the problems, though. And, if we do more harm thinking we're doing good than what we realize. And like I said, I didn't really want to talk about ice in Minnesota today, but it is what it is. And like I said in my last podcast, this and all can be solved. People go home, let ICE do their job, and they'll be in and out of there. It would have been done gone out of Minnesota if y'all let ICE do their job. But you got people like Walsh and the mayor of Minnesota who's fueling the fire. And you have to ask yourself why. Why are they fueling this fire? It's not because they believe and want to protect these illegals. It's coming out. I mean, there's range from $9 to $16 billion of fraud from the Somalians. And there's only one way a group like that can get by with it. Because evidently whistleblowers been trying to blow the whistle for years on these programs, but the Walt's turning an eye, so leave them alone. District, state attorney, leave them alone. Tell them the people that wants to prosecute, back off. There's nothing to see here. Or you throw other kind of roadblocks in front of them. So that's what the truth is on their side. That's what it's about. And a lot of these protesters, people don't want to believe it, but won't admit it. They were getting paid to do this. A lot of these agitators parts of it, yes, they're getting paid. How else are you going to be standing in sub-zero temperatures to protest? Anybody with the right mind say, I'm going to go where it's warm. So that's the way you got to look at things. You got to open your mind up and screw your heart. Think with your brain and not the other end. Because common sense tells you there's more to this story than trying to protect a bunch of illegals. Because think of who they're trying to protect. Bad guys. Yes, there's going to be some illegals who haven't broke the law that's going to get picked up. But they get picked up in the process of picking the bad guys. So my question is, why are they there? just came in the door. So, you got to think and use your common sense. So, and somebody on the right said, well, we need to just go ahead and pull ICE out and stop their funding. No, we don't. That's like telling your spoiled little kid it's all right to be spoiled. And that's long and short of it. So people just use your common sense. It will, at some point it'll calm down. And I hope for the best. But time will tell. So I'm going to sign off now. So as I always say, be true to yourself. God bless and take care and have a safe evening.